XLM Stellar set to soar. So in today's video, we're going to deep dive, take a look at the year that XLM and Stellar had. And we are going to be going live here once again tonight, by the way, at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern on the YouTube right here. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and pull up for the late night New Year's live party. Really looking forward to that. But before we get there, I wanted to do an update on XLM Stellar, the year that they had, and what I expect to see out of this coming bull run from XLM as far as price action goes. So without further ado, we're going to get right on into the update. I did want to say one last thing though. We have 24 hours left to go. We're running a sale for Patreon Discord memberships. When you sign up for a 1-year membership of Patreon, you will save 13% on your membership fees. That deal is ending tomorrow. So when I wake up tomorrow morning, I am turning that deal off. Take advantage of it while it lasts. Come join us in the private investment community. We would love to join you. Now, for the Patreon Discord community, I did update this morning a crypto trading update. I am back in the game. Not here to give anybody financial advice or to send out any sort of trading signals. That's not what I do. I'm not a TA guru or expert. I just simply, try to be transparent and share the trades that I am in. And so I updated the Patreon Discord community this morning. Make sure you guys, if you guys are already in there, make sure you guys go check that one out. And then if you want all of my up-to-date minute-by-minute trades when we're in them, that goes down in the Discord trading channel. With that being said, let's get right on into it, folks. We're talking XLM, and we're starting off here with a tweet from the CEO and Executive Director of the Stellar Development Foundation, Danelle Dixon. And a huge shout out to Danelle, representing Stellar so well, and also representing the entire cryptocurrency space. Danelle went to Congress, I think, a couple times this year, at least once, but I think it was a couple times that Danelle pulled up in DC, and we do respect her for doing that. She says, what a year it's been, a true year of utility for the Stellar Network. Reflecting on the ecosystem's hard work, I couldn't be prouder of all we've accomplished together. Here's a look back. Now, starting off, this is absolutely massive. Stellar saw over 300 million in tokenized on-chain assets, showcasing our successful collaborations with Franklin Templeton and Wisdom Tree Funds. Now, with Franklin Templeton, they issued tokenized bonds on the Stellar Network. And then with Wisdom Tree, they've issued a bunch of different assets on Stellar, and that's been another interesting deal. Now, that is the same Wisdom Tree that is filed for a Bitcoin spot ETF as well. I think that Franklin Templeton filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF as well too, but nonetheless, Stellar doing the deals with the big boys and girls. Love to see it. We marked, this is the tokenization of these financial products and assets that's going to lead to, tens of trillions and hundreds of trillions coming in and being represented on DLT technology. So a good start there for Stellar. She says, we marked the first anniversary of our collaboration with MoneyGram. Together, we're empowering users to transform their physical cash into digital dollars, expanding access to over 180 countries and 300,000 locations. Now, they also did become a minority investor in MoneyGram as well. We'll talk about that more here in just a second. Throughout the year, the Stellar Community Fund awarded $1 million in grants, fueling innovation in our ecosystem. So they were happy to award $1 million in grants. And I'm just going to tell you right now, compared to what Ripple's been doing with their grants, that's a joke. Ripple's been doing like hundreds of millions of dollars in grants, but Stellar trying to keep up. $1 million in grants this year. That's good for them. Sorry, I had to get that in there. At Meridian 2023, we had the pleasure of hosting more than 500 community members, thought leaders, and our partner and collaborator, Idris Elba. That is the celebrity actor, Idris Elba. Yep, that is him. He became one of their partners and kind of a celebrity spokesperson for the company at their Meridian, which is similar to Ripple's Swell Conference. Meridian is their annual conference there for the Stellar community. The event also marked the introduction of our fresh new brand. Further on the tech side, Soar official development continues to be a top priority for our team. This year, we completed 11 preview releases, and the mainnet upgrade vote is scheduled for January 30th. I would encourage you guys to follow this account. I'm going to do it right now. Soar official. This is like Soar is a developer-friendly WASM, I don't know what that is, WASM based smart contracts platform, building the future of DeFi on Stellar. So it's basically just a Twitter handle that's going to cover all of the smart contracts developments that are taking place in the Stellar ecosystem. So I'd recommend following them if you want to stay up to date on that. And we're going to talk more about the smart contracts here in 1 second. Closing out the month, we celebrated 1 year of Stellar Aid Assist in Ukraine, dispersing $1.1 million to over 1,500 individuals. With partners like Circle and MoneyGram, this initiative set the stage for the Stellar disbursement platform to transform global bank payments. It's been a remarkable year for the Stellar Development Foundation, the network, and the Stellar ecosystem, and we look forward to building on this momentum in 2024. Happy holidays. Now, like I said, this Soar account is going to cover all of the smart contracts taking place in the ecosystem, the development over there. But they say a great example of one of the many projects building with smart contracts on Stellar coming soon. Gosh, I'm slipping up on my words here this morning, aren't I? This is from Steve Walker, who is the founder of the Blue Marble IO. I was researching all this last night, and I did give him a follow. I watched this little video here, and what this does is it allows, and this is kind of happening on testnet, right? Soar is not live yet. It's going to be going live on January 30th is when the vote is. But in the meantime, you have folks playing around with this testnet, and this Steve Walker with his project, the Blue Marble IO, is basically created an NFT platform for customer loyalty for folks that have a Shopify business. So if you have an account on Shopify, they're enabling you to basically gift NFTs to your customers without them even having to like download a wallet or get set up. I watched his little video. It was a pretty cool little deal. But the point that I just wanted to make is that this is one of the many projects that are building for smart contracts on Stellar, and much more of that is coming on the way. Let's continue on. So the road to mainnet, unlike with XLM, unlike with XRP, where the hooks is now being built out on the Zahao ledger, and smart contracts are not coming to mainnet XRPL anytime soon. Stellar and XLM is building their smart contracts to go directly onto the mainnet of XLM Stellar network. So it's going to be very interesting to see the comparison. Smart contracts coming to XLM. Meanwhile, for XRP, they've said, no, let's stick to just payments. And the folks that were building on hooks decide to do the Zahao sidechain. And so we're going to see how this works out and how it compares. But in the meantime here, we're watching the Stellar Network's phased rollout of smart contracts is underway. They say over the past 2 years, they've been working on this with the broader Stellar community, and now they are set to release this. Stellar Network validators have agreed to a January 30th vote on the mainnet upgrade to Protocol 20, which should give the ecosystem time to prepare by installing relevant software. If you are building on Stellar, please review the Protocol 20 upgrade guide. So Protocol 20 is what this is, the update to the Stellar network, okay? On January 30th, the network's validators will cast their votes. And if they approve the upgrade, the Stellar network will immediately switch from Protocol 19 to Protocol 20. After more than 2 years of technical discussions, hundreds of thousands of lines of code, and over 150 projects that we know of deployed on testnet, the upgrade will mark the era of a new Stellar smart contracts tech stack, one that delivers productivity through a batteries-included developer experience built to scale. And that's what I noticed about that last project that I mentioned. I mean, it's not an endorsement, but just the fact that he was saying, yeah, you can gift NFTs to your clients, and then he showed a way that your client can gift an NFT, which, you know, in his case was like a 20% off coupon or something. Like you can gift an NFT coupon to a friend and you don't even have to have a Stellar wallet to do so. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, the batteries included developer experience built to scale, kind of a plug and play. So unlike an immediate 0 to 100 rollout, validators are opting to increase capacity for Soar transactions on mainnet through a phased approach. This is pretty interesting. The limited capacity for Soar transactions on mainnet means that Soar dApps won't be ready for use at scale until later phases. This deliberate strategy will allow network participants to monitor smart contracts' functionality impact on network performance, security, and scalability. As we progress through the phases, ledger limits for Soar transactions will increase, ultimately building up to full capacity worthy of builders and users alike. To be clear, these phases and the accompanying limits apply to smart contract functionality only. So they're not going to be limiting, the main payments. going across the Stellar network. This is just going to be the smart contracts through Soar that are going to be limited and phased in. Limits on transactions that make use of existing Stellar operations won't be impacted, which means existing applications will continue uninterrupted. Now, I like this phase. I like this phased rollout that they're doing because it allows them to go live with it, but they're throttling back the amount of transactions that Soar is going to be able to push through on mainnet so that they don't clog it up and break the network. I think it's a smart approach. Launching smart contracts on the Stellar network is a significant feat, and we all want to get it right. So we at SDF support this phased approach to ensure functionality and features are solid and secure for everyone interacting with the network. And gradually launching allows the ecosystem to do that better, faster, and more transparently. This approach should feel familiar. It echoes the phased release strategy implemented during Soar preview releases, allowing continuous testing and debugging as we add functionality. So Protocol 20 is available right now for testnet. The vote comes in on January 30th, and then after that, we get a phased rollout. Okay. Smoke testing systems, basic contract execution testing, uploading network configuration upgrades via contract calls, not to get too lost on the sauce and the technicalities. But basically, this does not mean that, anybody's basically going to be able to just go live full at scale with smart contracts on January 30th. What it means is that they're going to be voting. If they approve it, then they start to roll this out. And it's not just the Stellar Development Foundation. It is all of the network, all of the validators that have chosen this approach for kind of this phased rollout. Let's allow some of the Soar smart contracts to be flowing through to make sure that we don't interrupt the main ledger, the main net, and the payments and the transactions that we're, trying to send across the Stellar network. So I think this is a great way to roll out smart contracts. We compare this to XRP, which right now does not have smart contracts. We don't have an amendment to be voting on right now, and it doesn't look like we're going to get smart contracts on mainnet anytime soon. What's interesting, though, about what's happening over in the XRP ecosystem is we get EVM sidechain and we get XLS38D, which does bring cross-chain interoperability and a cross-chain bridge that would tie in the XRP ledger to other blockchains as well. So an interesting comparison, it's like the XRP ledger is being, kept kind of as a payments, transactions, just moving value, where the Stellar ecosystem is saying, we got room, let's tie in smart contracts here, and we're going to do a phased rollout and try to make sure that we don't break it. I like their methodology here, and it's going to be very interesting. I mean, nonetheless, bringing smart contracts to XLM and Stellar is going to be a very, very big deal. And they're saying that this is the biggest protocol update that Stellar has ever had. So the biggest update for Stellar is coming, and it's going to be here in less than a month, as long as these validators vote yes on it, and it appears that they will be. Now, we continue on here. As I mentioned, the Stellar Development Foundation investment in MoneyGram International. You recall that Ripple was partnered up with MoneyGram until the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, and then MoneyGram canceled their partnership with Ripple. What's interesting, though, about this whole deal, in this blog post, they mention that they established a commercial partnership in 2021, but that was not the beginning. No, before 2021, we had been in close collaboration, having recognized how well-suited and aligned our organizations were. In 2019, we started building the tools that ultimately became MoneyGram Access. Now, what's so interesting to me about this is it shows that Ripple, Stellar, MoneyGram, they all were in a partnership, and they all were doing deals with an understanding that, MoneyGram was working with Stellar, and Stellar understood that MoneyGram was working with Ripple. And it appears that there was two different use cases for, the partnerships. So with Ripple, it was kind of a wholesale using XRP for cross-border payments. Here with, Stellar, it appears that they're using a lot of USDC. And I'm going to talk more on that here later. It seems like with a lot of these partnerships, what they're doing is they're really pushing these payment providers to use USDC on top of the Stellar network. And so for those of you who know, we've been talking about this in the XRP community too. Circle issued USDC on the Stellar network. And we've talked about how I believe, my speculation is that they will eventually issue USDC on the XRP ledger. But for now, USDC is on the Stellar network. And this is the partnership. And this is kind of the payment method, the preferred method that Stellar is pushing to all of their payment providers. But nonetheless, Stellar took advantage of this opportunity to hop on board here and to acquire a minority investment in MoneyGram International. So they say that I can share that opportunity came to pass during the recent go private transaction with Madison Dearborn Partners. Whoops, we didn't mean to do that. Stellar Development Foundation became a minority investor in MGI. The investment was made out of SDF's own cash treasury, the assets set aside to support the operations of the SDF, rather than the Enterprise Fund, a fund to invest in startups and early stage companies. It is the first investment of its kind made from SDF's treasury. So very interesting deal here. The first of its kind made from Stellar Development Foundation's treasury, where they go pick up a piece of MoneyGram. I love to see this, right? This is a great little deal. I don't think that MoneyGram, there's no hard feelings over here. The fact that they ended their partnership with Ripple, it makes sense. I mean, Ripple got sued. Stellar has not been sued, and Stellar seems to be getting protected by the SEC. But that's a different story. But a great move. And their investment also includes a seat on the board of directors, which I am proud to represent Stellar Development Foundation. And this is from Donnell Dixon, I believe. Yeah, this is from Donnell Dixon. So Donnell Dixon representing Stellar really well here. So we'll continue to watch that one. Now, we slide on over, as I was saying, with a lot of these partnerships, and quick point, when I look at all these different cryptos and I'm trying to see who's actually using this dang thing, do you got any partnerships that matter? With a lot of these projects, they'll throw up, oh, all of these projects are in our ecosystem. These are dApps that have plugged into our ecosystem or who have thought about working with us, or we consulted them. And for a lot of these, when you're doing research on these cryptos, you're like, okay, I see that you're partnered up. You have them listed on your website. What does this partnership entail? Are they even using your token? And this is what I love about Ripple. This is what I love about Stellar. And there's very few others in the space that can show you, oh, hey, we're partnered up with this company, with this bank, with this institution. And here's how they're using the Stellar network. Here's how they're using the XRP ledger. With all these other projects, it's all just, you would think it's a facade. You would think they're fake. And most of the time they are. But with Stellar here, you can see they're really pushing the USDC built on Stellar is the main thing that they're pushing to their partners. And very interesting here, Argentines now have an easy and accessible way to protect themselves from the devaluation of the peso with Vibrant, powered by Stellar. Learn how it works and how users are gaining their financial freedom. So this is a whole article about how Argentina has experienced like 20% inflation on average for the last 10 or 20 years. And we all know about Argentina. Obviously, they elected their new president. They're getting reset right now. But this partnership allows them to, basically it's a wallet that gives them access to hold USDC on this Vibrant wallet, which is powered by Stellar. Okay, so it's allowing them to protect the value, it's allowing them to protect against the devaluation of the peso, and you also have the ability to access and send cross-border payments as well, too. Then when you look at this one, together, Felix and Bitso are creating greater financial accessibility in Latin America using USDC on Stellar rails and a remittance process that's faster, cheaper, and more user-friendly. It's as simple as sending a text. So they are leveraging USDC on Stellar, lowering transaction fees and speeding up payments. As I've been saying, with all of these partnerships, it appears there's one common denominator. You're going to be using USDC on Stellar, and that's what they're really pushing, which is a really big deal. Because we've talked about with USDC and Circle, how they appear to be doing everything kind of the right way. They appear to be working with the regulators, and they're kind of being set up as a quasi, US CBDC or the new US dollar, right? Equivalent. And so USDC, looking really good. And the fact that USDC has been put on Stellar and Stellar is leveraging this partnership with all of their other partnerships is a key tell for me. And it's a key tell that Stellar is going to be so crucial to this new financial system. Now, we continue on another partnership and another case study here for Stellar, how ARF gives financial institutions access to new markets. And so, like I was saying, with these partnerships, they specifically say use cases, Stellar for payments, country region, Switzerland, Turkey, and products and tools used, Stellar USDC and Euro from Circle, I think is who that's issued for cross-border payments. So they specifically tell you, the industry, the country, the use cases, the products and tools used. I really like the detail of the partnerships given here. And then when you look on down here, you can see and confirm what sets the Stellar network apart from other blockchains is its interoperability. The Stellar network can interoperate with other blockchains and traditional financial infrastructure via regulated financial institutions called anchors. Anchors can issue assets and or provide on and off ramps onto the Stellar network. Anchors using Stellar's ecosystem proposal can natively use ARF's infrastructure to access liquidity for cross-border payments. And so, as it says right here, USDC on the Stellar network for quick, easy settlement. ARF sought to leverage the world's fastest growing USD stablecoin in combination with the Stellar network's fast and secure payment rails. Circle are responsible for issuing and governing USDC on the Stellar network, ensuring the stablecoin is trustworthy to use. So another key partnership, and then this is what we need to talk about next, the anchors. The anchor tenants on the Stellar network. These are similar to issuers on other ledgers, on the XRP ledger. They would be called issuers, but here they're called anchors. Anchors can issue assets and or provide on and off ramps onto the Stellar network. We continue. The Stellar Anchor Directory. Now, I was really shocked last night when I was going through doing my research on this, just the amount of legitimate companies and partnerships that they have here for anchors. You can see you got Bitso, you got Binance, you got Bitfinex, just classic Bitstamp, classic exchanges. But then you also have these payment providers and companies out of these other regions. And what I love about this is the detail. The details matter, right? This is the directory of their anchors, but then it also lists the currencies that they have issued as well. So it shows you what countries, this payment rail is available in, and then what specific, it shows you the country and what payment rail is available through these anchors. So you go through here, you can see Coinbase, you see Circle, obviously, USDC, that's the euro issued by Circle. You have euro, you have US dollars. You have Franklin Templeton, and that's with their Benji, which is, that tokenized bond that they issued. I mean, these are big hitters. This is no joke. Getting Franklin Templeton to be an anchor within the network is not a joke, right? You see a few others here. MoneyGram, obviously, the big one. Navadi, another Ripple partner, actually, by the way. And you scroll on down here, and I wanted to show you this one. It's a big deal right down here. Look at WisdomTree. WisdomTree has issued the most amount of assets on the Stellar network. That's what I thought was this one was a big surprise for me. WisdomTree is the same company that's issued, their application for a Bitcoin spot ETF. Well, they're not waiting around to start issuing assets on the Stellar network. Look at this, folks. You got gold. You got all these different other assets that they have issued on the Stellar network. That's a big deal, along with Franklin Templeton and others. So in conclusion, for me, what I see, very, very similar to XRP and what Ripple's been doing over there, where Stellar is able to command legitimate partnerships. They have Circle pulling up. They have Franklin Templeton pulling up. They have WisdomTree pulling up and issuing like over half a dozen assets. There's like 10, maybe even a dozen assets that they came and issued on the Stellar network. That's major. And then with the ability of smart contract capabilities coming now too, I think it's just going to be another new wave of issuers and, in this case, they're called anchors, coming to the Stellar ecosystem and deciding to issue their tokens on the Stellar network. Now, in the past, I think that many people have gotten confused and they think that XRP is only for wholesale payments, Stellar is only for retail payments, and that's all that it will ever be used for. And then there's this whole thing that came out when folks realized that you could issue tokens on the Stellar network. There was a whole token craze. And then people started running with this story that the new stock market was going to be issued on Stellar. Well, here's the fact. These blockchains, these technologies can be used for whatever you want to use them for, as long as it has the functions and the utility that you need. Now, we're getting smart contracts on XLM. That's going to help. And then, you can issue, as Franklin Templeton is doing, bonds, as WisdomTree is doing all sorts of different assets, all sorts of different currencies, Circle doing USDC, doing Euro. And so you're seeing all of these assets coming on, and you're going to see stocks come on too. You are going to see companies that tokenize their, get tokenized and offer tokenized shares of their company on the Stellar network. you are going to see derivatives on the Stellar network. You are going to see real estate tokenized on the Stellar network. These blockchains are not like, a one size fits all, or I guess that won't be the right analogy. They're not just like one specific use case and that's it. Many people have been confused on that. So for XLM, it's exciting to see the ecosystem's been growing. They've got legitimate partnerships, and now they're getting that utility that's going to be critical. Where XRP and XLM have both been lagging is in the DeFi. With the smart contracts coming with Soar to the XLM Stellar network, it's going to unleash utility on the network. It absolutely is. But before we go, I want to give you kind of an idea on where I think the XLM could go price-wise this coming bull run. So let's take a look here at the chart. So, Stellar basically bottomed out this, in 2022, right at the end of the year as we got into the new year. That's where Stellar bottomed out at about 7 cents. Now, since then, Stellar did go up 175% all the way up to about 20 cents. And that was on the same day, that Judge Torres ruled that XRP was not a security. So XLM always following behind XRP. And on that July 13th day that we got the historical ruling from Judge Torres, that was when XLM went up to about 20 cents. But right now, it's down here at about 13 cents, which is still up about 80% from the lows that we experienced last year. So already recovered, already holding strong here. We did get a back test of about the 10-cent region back in October, but it bounced off that rather quickly and is holding support up here at about 12 to 13 cents over the past couple months. Now, when we zoom out on Stellar, this is something that I showed you guys a while back, but I'm going to have to show you again to reiterate the point that Stellar XLM was not as suppressed as XRP was the last bull run in 2021. What I'm talking about is the all-time high for Stellar XLM was about 93 cents back in January of 2018, back when XRP went up to $3.84. But if you compare that to where XLM went to in the 2021 bull run, it went all the way up to about 80 cents, which is only about 15 or 16% away from that previous all-time high. When you compare that with XRP only went up to $2, right? And the all-time high for XRP was about $3.84, which is about 95% away from the all-time high. So XLM got a lot closer to its previous all-time high, which is why I say it was less suppressed than XRP was last bull run. And the gains that could be coming up here this time around could be pretty massive. For me, I think that XLM and XRP, all of these suppressed assets that didn't go achieve a new all-time high, like the whole rest of the space, they're due to go do what the rest of the space did last bull run, which was about a 3 to 5x from the 2017 highs. So for Bitcoin, it topped out at about 20,000 in 2017. It went up to 69,000 this last bull run, which is about a 3x. For Ethereum, it was a little bit better than that. And for a lot of the other cryptos that have been around since the 2017 run, that's kind of what they did, was about a 3 to 5x. So I think that we're due for another 3 to 5x from about that dollar range. And so for me, on the very, very conservative side, I think that Stellar easily does about a $2. And then I think on the higher side, I think that we could see Stellar go up all the way to, $3 to $5 is kind of my target for this bull run, whether that's towards the end of 2024, whether the true alt season doesn't come until 2025. These have been suppressed assets and they can kind of rip at any time they want. I mean, just look at July 13th when XRP and XLM both went nuts on their own and we crashed all the exchanges. And so all in all, in conclusion, folks, after I did this research, I wanted to go buy some more XLM, and I'm going to. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm going to go buy some more. For me, it's still a great position. And for me, I'm excited to see what it does this coming bull run. Massive utility coming with the smart contracts. That's going to be the biggest upgrade to the network that's ever been done. And then with these massive partnerships that they continue to command, it's just no joke. They are getting some of the biggest players in the traditional financial world to come on board, and they've set themselves up to be in a position to acquire stake in companies like MoneyGram and others. So that's important. That's a good position for Stellar Development Foundation to be in. But then when you look at XLM, the network, utilities coming, similar to XRP, it has me very excited. And so I'm not here to give you financial advice or tell you what to do, but for me, I am going to be probably adding a little bit more to my bag after I upload this video. So with that being said, make sure you guys tune in tonight at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern for the New Year's party. We're going to have ourselves a celebration. I can't wait to see you guys there. Wishing everyone a happy new year. I'll see you later tonight. God bless you all. And let me know in the comments down below what you think XLM is going to do this coming bull run. Make sure we smash it on the way out. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.